Trump's plan to kill the Department of Education has people panicking. But maybe it's time we ask, what does the DOE even do? The DOE's mission is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access for all students. But we've spent trillions of dollars on the DOE and we've become less competitive. 25 years ago, we ranked 10th in reading. Now we're 13th.
They're not beating them charges that the Department of Education needs to get the fuck out of here. How are we pouring that much money into a department and then not seeing any results? Like, your performance review is straight up basura, okay? It's trash. How do you defend giving taxpayer dollars for literally no return? We're not getting a return on our investment, okay? The kids can't read. It was so funny. I was watching the Asmongold, one of his little clips or videos, and he had said, sometimes when you're commenting with different people online, and they say something that is so crazy in left field, and it's like, did you even read my message? And what he said was profound.
So, have you guys ever noticed this on Twitter, where you'll respond to somebody and they'll answer you in a way that is very clear that they didn't even read the message? I think it's because they can't read the message. A big problem nowadays is that you can't communicate with written words anymore. In America.
For me, I was just like mind boggled, because I'm like, everyone I know can read besides, like, Bella, she's 2, and my son, he's 2 months. Everyone else I know can read. So it doesn't seem like that could be a reality where the people you're interacting with online literally cannot read. But I mean, I'm starting to believe it. It's changed my whole perspective on a lot of things. Yeah, this department, it needs to be dismembered and restructured so that children are actually getting a good education, because they could tell you all the different genders and zers and all this other stuff. I don't even know what a zer is, but that a child can tell me what that is now, but they can't read freaking Curious George. Okay, they can't do basic math. This department needs to be dismantled, and we need to replace it with something that is much better, that will better serve the people. I mean, this also reminds me of that video where the gentleman, I think it's in New York or LA, he's going somewhere. This one guy, I'll insert a clip so you can see what I'm talking about, where he goes around asking very basic questions, like, how many moons does the Earth have? And I kid you not, some people said 2, 3, 4.
How many different moons does the Earth have?
4.
Yes.
Like, look up in the sky. Bruv, have y'all never looked up in the sky at night and seen the moon and seen that it's just one of them? It's absolutely insane. Where's the Queen of England from?
What country is the Queen of England from? Originally.
I definitely don't know.
No, give me your best guess. I guess a country.
What is a country again?
Give me a guess.
This is embarrassing. What is a country? Canada.
Yes.
Where is the Queen of England from? And they look at you and say Australia. The answer is literally in the question. I'm gonna need the Department of Education to get the F up out of here, because you were clearly wasting my money. Okay, my money is not going to educating the youth. It's going to some BS, clearly. Because the youth ain't educated, okay?
In math, we've crashed from 18th to 26th, lagging behind Estonia. In science, we've had a tiny bump from 14th to 12th. We're stagnating at best. At worst, we're on a decline, while the amount that we invest is on an incline. In 1980, the DOE cost $53.6 billion in today's terms. Now, it costs us $79 billion in discretionary budget. That's worse than a bad investment. It's waste. And it has global implications. Less competitive schools make America less competitive in tech.
That's a lot of wasted money. Like, imagine if you're at your job and they're expecting you to perform, and this is the type of performance that you come with. Your ass is getting fired. You're getting fired. How are people defending this?
Which makes us less competitive economically and militarily, which makes us more dependent on importing talent rather than developing homegrown talent. Now, You can make another argument for the DOE, that it ensures equal opportunities in education.
Yeah, equal opportunities to be stupid, equal opportunities to not learn how to read or do math. What are we talking about here?
The DOE has seen some positive effects there. The Black-white achievement gap for high school students narrowed by about 0.57 standard deviations for reading and 0.40 for math since about 1980 when their DOE was founded. In normal terms, that's about a moderate impact. But for science, it hasn't narrowed at all. So it's not nothing, but it's not enough. Not after 45 years and trillions of dollars of investment. Now, some are understandably worried that we'll lose even those modest gains by dismantling the DOE. And some of them are worried about inequality. Well, if a DOE disappears, here's what will happen. The Department of Justice would handle civil rights. The Treasury would handle disbursement of funds. And the states would determine education strategy. The logic here is that California has different needs than Texas, and state officials are better positioned to create equal, excellent education than the federal government. And that could mean,
as long as they don't let Texas call slaves indentured servants in their history textbooks. Because I remember they were trying to do that like maybe in the 2010s. I'm just like, let's not revise history. Okay. Slaves and indentured servants are two completely different concepts. So I have no issues with this as long as there is still some kind of standard set where you can't just rewrite history in Texas and then all the Texan children are coming out saying, oh, your ancestors were indentured servants. Like, no, they were enslaved. Okay, let's not call it something that it isn't. Indentured servitude is completely different from slavery. I mean, I feel like there should be standards set that every state has to abide by. But however the Department of Education has been doing it is clearly not working. So we do have to try something new, because to continue it would just be insanity.
Redistributing tens of billions of dollars away from the feds back to the families through school choice vouchers that allow us to make more empowered education choices. Now, there is risk. Some states may ditch equality as a priority altogether. Some states might make worse decisions than the feds would. But the good news is that it's something that you as a voter can influence more directly by getting more active in local voting. But zooming out here, people are sensationalizing and fear-mongering around the dismantling of the DOE.
Okay, let me roll that back and read that to you. Now, this Brian Krassenstein, I see his post pop up. I think I see him and somebody else that has that same long-ass last name. And they always say clown things. Breaking. President Trump is reportedly set to sign an executive order this week to abolish the Department of Education. Dismantling public education is how they keep people uninformed, making them more susceptible to conspiracy theories and more likely to vote against their own interests. Well, according to the party that Brian Krassenstein subscribes to, it is in every woman's best interest to vote for the people who want to keep men in our sports and basically erase us out of sports and athleticism. These people are so unserious. Conspiracy theories like the one y'all made up about Trump being supported by Russia and that Russia colluded to win him the election last time. Unserious.
Around the dismantling of...
Wait, all this education, but y'all mofos can't say what a woman is? Okay.
The DOE. So to clear some things up, free and reduced lunch isn't going anywhere. That's handled by the Department of Agriculture. Special education support isn't disappearing. It's going to Health and Human Services. Student loans aren't disappearing. That's going to the Department of Treasury. But fearmongers are saying things like this is the harbinger of Project 2025 and Trump's secret plan to dumb.
All these people talking about Project 2025, they've never read it. They've never read it because there are actually some really good things in there. Yes, there are some things in there that's like, get that basura out of here. But for the most part, there are a lot of really good policies that were in there. But the people fear-mongering about Project 2025 have never read it. They just allowed somebody else to tell them what was in it.
They can't read.
But they want to tell us about, the Department of Education making everyone susceptible to conspiracy theories. But you believe the conspiracy theory around Project 2025, make it make sense.
Down the entire populace. But we've been doing that without Trump's help. We're spending 50% more on the Department of Education than we used to while doing worse internationally. We're getting only small to medium improvements in closing the racial achievement gap and it's even widened since COVID. It's been half a century, and we've only gotten modest improvements to the racial achievement gap at absolute best. So something drastic needs to change. Now, I would like to see Trump's team present a clearer vision for making education great again. Because although you can argue that the federal government has done a bad job at improving education, I don't think that just passing this to the states is enough to close the global competitiveness gap.
I agree.
At least this is a step in the right direction. And hopefully, this should help you form a nuanced perspective, rather than listening to doomsayers who are saying that Trump is trying to make America dumber, or that this is the end of equality.
And see, that's the problem. Everyone is going to all these different extremes. No one wants to be nuanced. Everyone wants to just go to this extreme, to that extreme, whether it's the right or the left. It's all lunacy to me. And whenever I hear takes like this, and I've seen some of his posts and things like that, he seems pretty level-headed. When I see people actually be nuanced, actually take into consideration all factors and not have cognitive dissonance, it's refreshing. Hopefully they get rid of the Department of Education and they put forth something better, because the kids are stupid. Okay. They don't know how to read. They don't know how to write. They can't critically think, but they can build you a phenomenal world in Roblox and Minecraft.
Do you know what 7 plus 7 plus 7 is?
28. No, I'm bugging. 14 plus 7. I don't know.